everybody, welcome back to the K2N Online Paddle School. We are back here on YouTube, and this week we're talking about the tempo of your paddle strokes, how long to spend in the water, how long to spend in the air, and why a slow stroke with a fast recovery is an obsolete tempo. I use that one as an example because it's a pretty common one that paddlers find themselves doing. And so in today's video, I'm gonna go through some footage of myself paddling through these different configurations. So defining the different configurations, right? We have the first idea is split into two. We have a short stroke and a long stroke. A short stroke is where you think about the stroke starting where the whole blade goes into the water, which is usually around your feet. And then thinking about the blade removing itself from the water before it goes negative, which is around your hip. So the blade goes in at your foot, comes out at your hip. This is a short stroke. Not worrying so much about blade angles like we talked about in a previous video. If you turn your body and reach where the blade tip touching the water way beyond your feet starts the stroke, and you continue to turn until there's no water left to grab behind you, this is going to make the stroke incredibly long. The next difference we want to look at is the time in the water. The slower the stroke is, and the faster the stroke is. The idea being when we go slow through the water, we don't have the ability to introduce speed, which is a major part of our power transfer into the water. If I want to transfer a lot of power with my fist, I move fast in order to do that. This is the same idea we're looking for in the water. If I go very slowly, there's no power transfer. And so when we take these strokes, if we don't introduce the concept of speed into the equation, we don't get a lot of power. Another way to look at it is if it takes you 2 seconds to complete your stroke, and it takes me 1 second to complete everything that you did, I am accomplishing double the amount of work. This opens me up to match everything you did in the stroke and to take more and to get more out of each stroke, right? It now becomes an unwinnable battle. Combine a slow stroke with a short stroke, and now we have probably the worst combination of ideas coming together. You don't have a lot of range of motion to really be slow, so you have to move in a very, very slow configuration, and this leads to major problems. When I describe that, that sounds very silly, but there is a majority of paddlers that do this. They go in at their foot, they come out at their hip, and they actively try to go as slow as possible through this range of motion. And the final fork in the road is the recovery. How fast the blade sets up on the next stroke, and this is going to change your overall stroke rate. Slow in the air makes the boat slow down, and you lose a lot of performance in moving your canoe forward each time. Going fast allows you to catch this glide before it diminishes, right? And it allows you to take more strokes, which gives you more wattage output and more performance into the water. These are all good things at the cost of more energy. So the most ideal configuration with your recovery is to match it to the distance that you are paddling. If it's 100 meters, your recovery should be very violent and quick, as fast as you can do it. If you're paddling 50,000 meters, your recovery now has to be something that is very measured to make sure you don't run out of energy. But keep in mind, if your recovery is a certain speed and there's another competitor that takes a stroke just as long as yours, they do everything you do within the stroke in the water, but they take a few more strokes per minute than you, they have a pathway to defeat you. So it's something to keep in mind. You ultimately want a recovery that is something that you can sustain to match the distance, and it's got to be sporty. You want to make sure that you are staying on top of this faster recovery based on the distance that you're racing. So those are the ideas. I'm going to go through the footage. I'm going to talk over the video, and I'll see you guys back here when we're all done with that. Hey everybody, this is about a minute of paddling through the different configurations. I'm able to draw on the screen and go through these. This is the same tool I use for video reviews. So if you ever get one done, you get to see me talking just like this, drawing on the screen. As we're going through these different configurations, keep in mind that we're starting with the slowest one and we're going to end with the fastest one. So as we go through here, short strokes, slow in the water, and fast in the air, we get to see the speed go under 6 miles an hour. The power transfer is very limited, short range of motion, and going slow through the water means no boat speed. Even here with the short stroke, because I'm being fast in the water, we can see hitting 7 miles an hour is no problem. Even going slow in the air, that power transfer in the water is the most important part of the equation. Introducing a longer stroke is now going to be faster even when we're slow in the water. The extra length and range of motion goes a long way for performance. Long stroke, fast in the water, even being slow in the air, the boat speed never drops under 7 miles an hour like it did on the last configuration. And then the final one is fast in the water, fast in the air, longer stroke. This gives your opponents no opening in order to keep up with you. You are taking the longest stroke possible, you are going through it as fast as possible, and setting up the next stroke as fast as possible. There is no way that they can take a longer stroke or move faster here or here. This closes the door on a competitor outperforming you. So the first stroke is going to be the short stroke that is slow in the water. So if I don't think about starting my stroke until the whole blade goes in the water, it starts here and it's gonna exit somewhere back here. And so you can see this green line is incredibly short as we are interacting with the water. This short range of motion means that the power transfer is going to be very limited. The other issue is as I line up for these strokes, because I'm trying to put the blade in here, my top arm is going to extend, my back is going to round, I'm going to hinge at my torso too much, which means my legs can't help. All of these things disable my ability to be very strong through the stroke. Stifling the amount of range of motion also limits the power transfer, and by not moving quickly through the water, you can see this boat speed is very much struggling stroke to stroke. There are times that it hits under 5 miles an hour, around the 6 mile an hour range. This is not a great showcase of ability and speed, and it all starts with thinking about going through the motion this particular way to bury it this way, and to move slowly, you will always be limited with your overall boat speed. So the next one here is fast in the water and then slow in the air, right? So the recovery isn't super fast, but it's the same short stroke, right? Taking the blade in the water at the foot, and you can see the body position is very similar as I go through this. But now, because I'm moving fast through the water, the boat is going to accelerate much further forward, and you'll see the boat speed increase, right? We're able to touch 7 miles an hour. I'm taking the same very short stroke, but because I'm being aggressive through the water, now I can get some of this boat speed. Even though I'm hanging out in the air for substantially longer each time, the boat is still rocketing forward from the success of the time in the water. So going through the same range of motion and doing it faster always leads you to more performance. So this next stroke is the longer stroke. So now the blade is interacting with the water way up here. The moment the blade tip touches, the boat is going to start moving forward by pushing into the stroke, and it's going to go all the way back here. So taking a stroke that is somewhere in this length, it's actually slightly longer than that as we go all the way through here. Your ability to transfer this energy into the water on a longer green bar is more range of motion you can use for more power. If you only have this range of motion to utilize, you can't ever transfer the same amount of energy as somebody using more leverages to their advantage. And the idea here that's limited is being slow in the water. Even though we have more range of motion, because we're trying to actively move slowly between these strokes, there is a limitation in the amount of force that we can get and top-end boat speed. Even having a faster recovery does not negate being slower here. Even though we do have the advantage of the longer stroke, we are stifling it by trying to move through it very slowly. Now in this stroke, we're taking the same long stroke, but now we're trying to get through the water substantially faster and then hanging out in the air each time. So the power transfer of moving fast here is the thing that's moving the boat forward. At no point is this boat speed going to drop under 7 miles an hour. On the slow in the water with the long stroke, it did, right? By not power transferring into the water properly, moving the body quickly and dynamically, the boat speed is unable to sustain itself the same way as going fast through this range of motion. I'm accomplishing all the same amount of work, but I'm doing it slightly faster, so now I'm getting more done. Even going slow in the air and being inefficient on this end of the stroke is not enough to slow down the boat. So the idea is if we can get through these range of motions faster, we can accomplish more. We're not cutting the stroke short. We're not doing anything less. It is the same stroke, just trying to get through it a little bit faster. And the last version of this that we're looking at is a long stroke that is fast through the water and fast on the recovery. This is what we're talking about before, where you don't leave any breathing room for a competitor to outperform you. They don't take a longer stroke because they physically can't. They don't get through the stroke faster because your motion is so fluid and dynamic and powerful. You get through the stroke effortlessly, cleanly, and quickly, and your recovery is so fast, they can't take more strokes than you. You close the door on being outperformed. If you are slow in the water, somebody could go faster and beat you. If you are slow in the air, somebody could recover quicker and beat you. If your stroke is not dynamic and long in nature, somebody can outperform you and reach further and take a longer stroke and get more leverages throughout their motion. So these are all the culmination of the ideas. If you are slow in the water, you will always be defeated by somebody that moves fast through the water. If it is an ideology that you cling onto desperately, it is something that will always hold you back from reaching your true potential. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video this week. If you need any more in-depth help, be sure to check out the K2NOnlinePaddleSchool.com today. There's a lot of videos talking about posture and movement and how to fluidly go through these range of motions and to keep this high output of energy without running out of energy. Working on drills to hone this efficiency with your movement. That's the whole point of the online school. Check it out today. A big thank you to all of our YouTube members found here. If you want to join the YouTube membership and end up here on the board, it is $2.99 a month, and you get to see all these videos about a full month early. If you would like me to come to your area and to host clinics, camps, lessons, whatever you want to do, I am available anytime. Feel free to reach out via email. We can schedule me traveling up to your area. If you can help me organize a group, I'll come up to you. If you would like to come to Hernando, especially in the wintertime, it freezes all over the world, but not here in sunny Florida, Hernando. So if you want to come down, we have boats, we have club practice, we can do private lessons, small group lessons. You can bring your whole team down. If you paddle in Florida in the wintertime, consider coming down to Hernando, Florida, and paddling with K2N. A big thank you to everybody supporting the online school, supporting the YouTube channel. This isn't possible without all of you. We will see you all next week for the next paddle tip video.